built nuclear weapons, and Iran has been trying for decades to acquire. One got accepted, the other has been facing sanctions, threats, and isolation for decades. Same goal, but widely different outcomes. So, what's the real difference? The difference comes from one strategic approach that India took that looked initially naive or idealistic, but it turned out to be genius. By the end of this video, you will exactly know why the world plays favorites and how India quietly became one. The world created a treaty, non-proliferation treaty, to stop nuclear weapons from spreading. India looked at it and said, this is unfair. We are not signing it. Iran signed it. That single decision changed everything. Because जब इंडिया ने न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब टेस्ट किया 1974 में, सो टेक्निकली उसने कोई रूल नहीं तोड़ा और कोई प्रॉमिस भी नहीं किया कभी. When Iran, on the other hand, started enriching uranium beyond its civilian needs, it had signed a treaty which said it cannot do this. So, India stayed outside the system, and one is trying to break the system from within. Now, for decades, India kept saying nuclear weapons are dangerous for everyone. We want global disarmament. And that was the message we sent over and over again. So finally, when India tested a bomb, the world was surprised, maybe even upset. Protest bhi hue India ke khilaf. But it was not terrified because India had spent years building something that is very powerful, that is credibility. It insisted that uska nuclear program is for peaceful purposes, to serve the poor, to provide them energy. And this is what right from the time 1956 when the first nuclear reactor started functioning. And when it is carried out the first nuclear explosion testing, it was officially called as peaceful nuclear explosion. Now here is another intelligent part that India played. India ने सिर्फ बॉम्ब्स ही नहीं बना, अब बॉम्ब्स को डिलीवर करने के लिए भी तो व्यवस्था करनी थी. So it built rockets. For what? For space. PSLV, GSLV to launch its satellites for moon missions. Officially, ये peaceful space explorations. But rocket technology has got dual use. The same engine, the same navigation system that launches a satellite can also be used in a missile to carry a warhead. So जब restrictions आए under missile technology control regime, India had already built enough capability to go it alone. So therefore, by the time the world tried pushing India back, India was already in the process of crossing the finish line. तो उसका हमें फर्क नहीं पड़ा. And here is what India did next. And it is this reason that everything changed. No threats, no aggression, किसी को secrets बेचे नहीं to shady regimes. Instead, India announced its nuclear doctrine when it conducted the tests. That is minimum credible deterrence because India had two nuclear powers as next door neighbors, no first use, and responsible management. This was the doctrine. So India treated its nuclear weapons like a locked safe, not a loaded gun pointed at neighbors. उसके nuclear weapons किसी को threaten नहीं कर रहे. That restraint rebuilt trust faster than any treaty could. So, despite the tests and the ban that followed in 1998, India was able to convince the world as well as US कि वो एक responsible power है And as a result, it signed a civil nuclear deal with US, a country that never joined the NPT signed a treaty with United States, a civil nuclear deal. Think about it. So India broke the rules of the NPT club and then got invited in it anyway. Why? Because by then India had proven something to the world. It could be trusted with nuclear weapons. It's a responsible power. So no proliferation, किसी को कोई threat नहीं, just quite credible deterrence. Now let's talk about Iran. 1979 में वहाँ revolution हुआ, एक नई गवर्नमेंट पावर में आई, जो कि fiercely anti-Israel थी, deeply hostile to the West. Over the years, Iran built ties with Hezbollah, Hamas, and other proxy groups, which many countries call them as terrorists. So when Iran's nuclear program surfaced, the world didn't see a country seeking security. It saw a threat, as a threat to the entire Middle East. So same technology, but completely different stories. So the response to Iran was relentless sanctions, oil embargoes, UN resolutions, diplomatic pressures from every direction. Not because Iran had more uranium than India, but because Iran failed to develop or create that trust. Its nuclear program was not seen as a defense, it was seen as a weapon aimed at regional dominance. And in international politics, rather everywhere, perception is very important and becomes a reality. So here is the real difference. Split down to its core. India stayed outside the treaty, so it couldn't break it. India built an image of peace for decades before going nuclear. India kept its weapons quiet, its doctrine defensive, and its technology was absolutely indigenous. Iran signed a treaty, but then was accused of violating it. Iran adopted a confrontational policies that scared its neighbors. Iran became a symbol of threat, not stability. So at the end of the day, nations don't just judge technology, they judge your past record. They judge your past behavior. This is international politics. They judge decades of choices, small and large, that add up to one thing, and that important thing is credibility. India built it, Iran did not. And that's why one became a nuclear power that the world accepts it, and the other remains isolated, sanctioned, and feared. Thank you. Jai Hind.